Alright, hello there. My name is Sammy, and welcome back to my Stream Theory playthrough of Costume Quest 2, where I will be playing the game live while also providing analysis and commentary as I go. So, we're going to continue on right where we left off the last part. We are deep in the heart of Dr. White's compound, where our friends, Everett and Lucy, who are characters in the previous game, in our party, in the first game, it was 4 characters. It was Everett, Lucy. We eventually got them in on a party later, and of course the main characters, the brother and sister, what were their names? Wren and Reynold. Right. So with them, in this game, we go to the future, and Everett and Lucy have grown up. They get captured by Dr. White, who has become like the overlord of the world and is ruling the world with his dentist-based policies. But we have in our party their daughter. They actually had a daughter together when they grew older, and she is helping Wren and Reynold now to try and save her parents, where we saw them in a cell in this compound. That's what's happening right now. It's a short little recap of what's going on. We're also trying to, and I guess in the long term, we're trying to prevent this future from happening, where Dr. White ends up taking over the world. So, yep, right now we are just trying to save Halley's parents, Everett and Lucy. And where we left off, we were still exploring the rest of this compound and seeing what is going on here. See, is this a way in here? Yeah, I think I went here before, the research lab. There's more to explore that way. I wonder if there's another... if there's anything more to explore here. I don't think I fully saw everything there is to see here just yet, so... There's something over here, right? Or is that just decoration? There's no way to actually get in there? I don't know. Seems like there's no way to get there. But when I'm in the middle of a quest and I'm in a new area, what I like to do is just get my bearings and explore. Make sure I don't miss anything. And then from there, I like to figure out what I'm going to do for the long run. Alright, so we have a hide-and-seek kid here. Hey man, I guess that's it then. 5 out of 6, so it looks like all of them are in this general location, as opposed to the last hide-and-seek quest, which was spread out over several different areas. Alright, so we can also get some battles done here, because these guards drop some rewards, like cards, for instance, and I'm also looking for a card as part of a quest. So let's do a quick battle here. Can get us warmed up as well. Usually when I first start out, I am not quite in tune with the way the timing works in the combat, so a good warm-up battle helps out in that regard to get me back on track with the timing. Yeah, see, I'm not getting perfect. I'm getting the nice, but that's what I'm looking for, the amazing. Make sure I get that done consistently. And discussed before how it is difficult to pull those amazings off. However, I also like the fact that it's difficult, that it's not so easy. Because if the combat was too easy, then it would just be trivial, and you would just be boring. I just want to reiterate that I like the fact that there is a little bit of a challenge with trying to get that timing right, and it makes every time you get an amazing, you get that perfect timing, you get the amazing, that bonus damage from that perfect timing. It's like a nice little climactic moment. You feel like you've accomplished something. It keeps the combat interesting and exciting that way. So I like the fact that it is challenging and that it is tough to make sure. It is tough to pull off those amazing timings consistently. Yeah, each one of these overworld enemies I want to battle at least once, see if any of them hide one of the cards. It's part of my quest. I need to find a particular card to complete that quest. So worth doing these enemies at least once. Yeah, you don't want to get to a point where the original costume quest had, or got to, where you were just, the combat was just straightforward kind of thing. You're just kind of going through the motions. The fact that the timing here is an important part and also a difficult part to get right. It keeps things interesting throughout, even when the combat stops adding new elements. Like, I think we reached a point in the game where the combat, we've seen all there is to see of the combat. We've got the timing-based maneuvers. We've got the advanced countering for blocks. And beyond that, I don't think there's going to be any more elements. We also have the creepy treat cards we can activate as like additional modifiers. Beyond that, that's like basically the crux of the combat, everything there is to see in the combat. So from here on out, there's probably going to be nothing new as far as combat to learn. However, the fact that the timing-based thing is not easy, and it's still difficult to pull that stuff off, I am still find myself interested. Trying to get that amazing done more consistently. Yeah, I'm still not able to quite get the timing right on some of these. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. I feel like I'm doing it right, but it's just difficult. Like, the window is pretty small and it's still challenging, even when you practiced up. Nope. Thought that would be right. There we go. Sometimes I feel like I get it more consistently when I let go and just go based purely on intuition rather than trying to time it perfectly. Alright. Not getting the counters done right, but that's mostly guesswork. You basically have to guess which of your guys is going to be attacked, prepare the counter, and if you're lucky, if you get that 33% chance, then you get the perfect counter, block most damage, and revert that damage back to the enemy. I kind of like the way the countering works in this game. I think I discussed that before, but worth reiterating that the countering system adds another high for predicting it right. If you're either skillful enough to prepare or to guess, well, you can either guess or be like really super fast at picking up which guy they're going to attack. And then if you prepare that character for the block with the appropriate button, then you get rewarded with much less damage and damage reverted back to the enemy. So that's another, in addition to the timing for the attacks, the timing for the defense is a nice little addition as well. I don't think the first game really got into that stuff. I think I attacked this guy already. I'm also looking for the item for this. I don't think I explored over here fully, so I think I'll do that now. See what's over here. I think I ran out of time before I could fully explore that corner map. Oh, okay, we got a surprise boss battle. Or a mini boss, rather. That's fine. More experience. It's also great to activate our cards. Get more awards, some more candy, experience, and all that stuff. So, I want to weaken them right away or activate some cards. Let's activate a card. So how about, I kind of wish I had my double candy reward. Oh, that's okay. Let's double the experience. And let's actually get some. Let's do a super for him. Sure. And Let's do another card. Let's do Amazing. The Moron's all remaining attacks by hero are amazing. It's a pretty great card to have activated. Oh, okay. It really looked like I was going to the Wolfman, but ended up going to the Pterodactyl. Oh well. Hit him back with a super. Nice. So I don't think I actually have to do the timings correct for this, because I have Morons activated. They'll always be amazing regardless of my timing. Okay, so I tried the superhero, but he was going towards the Wolfman that time, and I was only able to do the regular block. Yeah, if you're not able to prepare, you hold down the button, then you can only just do the regular block. You only have time for the regular block. It doesn't let you try and sneak that in beforehand. Yeah, the Morons card is way better than the Sports card. It seems to just max out all special meters after win. I think that's the card I'm actually looking for. Smoochies. But I think might also need, it has to be a duplicate, so I need to find a second copy of that, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, we'll see. Can we go over here? I think we can, but let's go back to that kid and see if that'll finish up that quest. Those are always good to save. You haven't found a Smoochies card for me, have you? Nope, still looking. Okay, so I did find a Smoochies card, but I think the particulars of these quests is that they have to be a duplicate. So you can't just have the card itself. You have to find a duplicate. So I have to keep battling and find the second one. Yeah, I have it already. I got that from the mole. Max all special meters after win. That's a nice little tech card. So I'm gonna switch out one of these cards. Probably the Tongue Punchers. Double experience. I'd rather have double candy reward, I think. Or maybe I'll just swap them out interchangeably. So, what was it? Yeah, Sneak It. Change it out for the Tongue Punchers. Morons is always worth having, so I'll keep that equipped and then just use Jelly Breaks if I need it again. It'll reset the cooldowns. I think that's a really good strategy to go with. How much candy do I have now? Oh, I'm actually maxed out of candy now, so I can definitely want to buy some stuff. Get the map upgrade. Upgrade some of these costumes. Sure. 2 times battle speed. Interesting. What does that even mean? Like, do you get to attack twice? Possibly. Auto resurrect next defeated hero. That's pretty good. That's also pretty good. Let's use it up on some candy upgrades. Always good investments. Or probably did end up wasting some candy there because I didn't buy from Shady beforehand. That's okay. Candy is easy to come by in this game, especially if I use the card to max out candy. From battles, I mean. Let's try and... maybe this guy will drop the card I need, the second copy of Smoochies. I think I also want to try experimenting with a different arrangement of costumes. Just change things up every once in a while. Alright. Also interesting to note that if you smack the enemy from in the overworld before you enter combat, they take a little bit of damage beforehand, so always worth trying to get that in. Let's weaken this guy. Still can't get the timings quite right. Nope. Thought I would do it, but not quite there yet. Alright, so I have to try and keep guessing which dudes are going to attack. Alright, that time I guessed right. It's basically just a 33% chance. Usually my strategy is for the person who's damaged the most, that's what I'll pick the counter for. That way they'll take the least amount of damage if they do end up getting attacked. Let's see. Yay, got that one right. Sweet. Let me do some long-term damage on this guy. Then I will do a sweet justice on that guy. Nice. Alright, so I think I prepared that in time, but timing was still off. You still have to get the timing right, even if you pick it. So sometimes I'll fail to do that, but that's okay. Not too much harm done. Alright, save after every battle. I don't think I got any drop after that one. It's fine. Alright, let's change out the costumes a bit. Let's see. Let's bring back Jefferson, I think. Usually, Jefferson and the superhero are basically interchangeable. The other ones offer some interesting side effects. Maybe I can just go for straight damage by having both Jefferson and the superhero. Well, superhero's 5%. This is 7. And this one's 6. This one's more of an all-arounder. 5 and 5, 3 and 7, -2, 12, 4 and 6. And these are more defensive. These other ones are more defensive. That's why I don't use them all that often. I thought this one would be really good, but its effect is the Ghost, the newest costume. Not that great. I'm not impressed at all by the Ghost. I think it would be really useful if the Ghost effect, the super, would actually cause your guy to be untargetable, which would be a much more useful effect. Really, all it does is just shield some damage, which means they can still get attacked and they can still take damage. So basically useless in battle. Be much more useful if it was for one round, your guy would be untargetable. I think that would be fair and balanced, because especially since it's just one round. Anyhow, let's try the superhero, and how about let's switch up to Jefferson and keep the pterodactyl. So pterodactyl, Jefferson, and superhero. Let's go with that combo for now. Alright, so there's also stuff up here. I haven't fully explored this area yet. So I think battle this guy. Hopefully he'll drop something. Now I think there have been other topics I want to discuss while I'm playing this game. I usually think about them, oh, I'm going to discuss this, and then I end up forgetting about those things. Mainly, one thing is a few episodes back I was discussing all of the Double Fine games that I played, and trying to go through all of them, give my opinions on them. Just a brief, basically a rundown of everything I played and my experience with Double Fine games, and basically what I am bringing into this experience based on my past experience with Double Fine games. Particularly my expectations based on those prior experiences. But of course, naturally I forgot there are actually Double Fine games that I played that I forgot I played. Not necessarily because they were terrible or forgettable, but just because they are kind of the more overlooked games from Double Fine, I think. And The two I'm referring to, actually three I'm referring to, are... Man, Jefferson does a whole lot of damage. Just take out one guy right away, just focusing on him. Yeah. I don't know why I don't have Jefferson in my party. It's so much better to have Jefferson. Okay, so let's weaken one dude. Alright, so we just up front list those games that I missed in that prior discussion of Double Fine games that I played. So can't remember the exact order, but they were... There was a game called Hero Academy, which was a like touch mobile game, a game for mobile devices, tablet or phone. That was free to play with in-game purchases if you so desired those purchases. Let's go with the weekend guy. And Hero Academy is basically a game about you are essentially a middle manager in a company that trains and deploys heroes out in the world, superheroes. So you don't actually play as the superheroes directly. You are the paper pusher behind the superheroes, part of the company. Which is kind of like a clever little Double Fine twist. Part of the humor of that game. And it was very interesting game to play, especially on mobile devices. Very well suited for mobile devices. Touch-based gameplay because there's a lot of passive work. Not a super great experience, like not stellar or amazing, but really good as a mobile game. Are these guys gonna attack me, or they're not gonna attack? I guess they do spells. Let's weaken the other guy. Oh, I didn't mean to do my super. Never mind. Hero Academy. While I played it, I enjoyed it. Fairly short experience. Again, it's more of a small mobile game. You can play it for a few sittings and get most of the enjoyment out of it. As far as a mobile game goes, very clever. Exactly what I would expect from Double Fine. Unless they were going to go all out and give us a huge, grand mobile experience, which is some companies do that. There are some really high-end mobile games out there, but most games are like these little short and sweet little experiences that you can toy around with for a few hours, and that's basically what Hero Academy is. You can play it completely free if you want, or if you're really into it, you can put some money into it as well. A lot of people also like to just buy things, buy those in-game transactions with real money, not because they need those particular items, but just because they want to give a tip to Double Fine, to the developer that made the game. Say, hey, I am enjoying this experience, you guys deserve a little bit of money for this, even though it is free. It's basically you're electing to pay for the game. As far as that game, I think it would be definitely worthwhile to ship in a few bucks, whatever you think is fair. But ultimately, the reason why I forgot during that segment was because, you know, it's a mobile game, easy to overlook. That's all. Not really saying anything about it that it's like terrible or anything, or it is definitely forgettable. It's just overlookable. If that makes any sense. If that's any different than being forgettable. Similar to that is Dropchord, which is another mobile-based game for, you know, either tablet or phone devices. It is unlike most Double Fine games. Dropchord is a game where you, let's see what that is. Fling-a-lings. Interesting. Let's see what that does while I discuss Dropchord a little bit more. Dropchord is just a complete music experience, or a rhythm. Yeah, it's a rhythm game based on touch controls, where you try to tap and time your touches on the screen according to the corresponding swipes and directions that are indicated on screen. And you're trying to do that along with the beat. It's a nice little experience, and I guess probably the weirdest, if that makes any sense, the weirdest Double Fine game, if only because it is so different from the other ones. Normally when you think Double Fine, you think, you know, charming, funny, comedic stories, story-based experiences, and that was the only game that I know of that Double Fine has released that is not a story-based experience. Maybe they've had other ones. All heroes are strong against all enemy types. Okay. Interesting. Getting so many cards here, and we're just not going to end up using any of them. I don't feel like I even need them. Let's continue exploring. I don't know if I should save or not. Probably should save, but I'm already on my way to the next part anyways. Whatever. Dropchord. Again, another fun little experience while it lasts. You can just I'm not sure if it's free to play. I think that one is not free to play. You do have to spend a little bit of money to buy it. It doesn't cost that much, like $1 or $2, a couple bucks. Okay, it looks like I've explored everything here. I've already been to this area from the other side, from the other direction. Okay, so again, that's probably the scope of the experience, because it's a small mobile game. That's why it's easy to overlook. In an overview of Double Fine games, it's easy to overlook something like Dropchord and something like Hero Academy. But I did play those games, and I did enjoy them for what they were. Dropchord, you know, nice rhythm-based experience, something that a nice change of pace as well from what you'd come to expect from a Double Fine game. However, probably not a game that is suited to Double Fine's strengths, which is of course that strong comedic writing, story-based experiences. So yeah, definitely weird on that front. Let's check. Why not? Why don't we check in here? Okay, that's why, because it's locked. So we've been from the other side of that. Need to find a way to get in. I guess I might as well go here. There's two areas I can go: the private residence or through those laser gates, which I have the ability to go behind. But I've explored everything there is to explore in this overworld, I think. So I think I might as well move on now. Okay, it's locked. Come back later. Alright, so that is Dropchord and Hero Academy, the two mobile touch-based experiences that I have played. But then there was also another one I know I played. I can't actually remember right now. Now that I want to discuss it, might have to come back to it when I finally remember. All right, so now I can get past this using this new ability that I have and get into this new area here. Didn't do anything. They just disappeared. Alright, so I'm in the prison area. I'm trying to remember what that other game was. I know I played... said it was 3 games, right? Now, off the top of my head, I can't remember what that third game was. I remember the 2 mobile ones. Third game. Double Fine. Oh, right. I think it was a game made by Ron Gilbert. I know what it is. I know what the game is, but I can't remember the name now. Just the name of that game. What was it called? Ron Gilbert. Oh yes, The Cave. It's called The Cave. That was a game published by Double Fine, made in conjunction with classic designer, or classic is not a right word. He's a long-term experienced designer, very well-known designer known as Ron Gilbert. He's as prolific as someone like Tim Schafer, for instance. And he worked with Double Fine to make a game called The Cave, where basically you are going through 7 different characters' stories, and you can create groups of 3 of those characters at any given time, and based on which characters you choose in the beginning to play the game as, the levels you experience change and are suited to those characters of special abilities. So you not only experience different sets of levels, one for each of those 3 characters that you choose out from the beginning, but also those levels then you can approach them differently based on your grouping of 3. Your grouping of 3 characters, and each character has their own special ability that gives them a certain action that they can interact with objects in the world. So if you bring one set of characters in, you'll be able to interact with a certain set of objects in the world, while you can't interact with another set of objects that you might have interacted with. So it's an interesting way of being able to experience these various levels in multiple different ways, depending on which characters that you bring in. So there are 7 total. Can't remember off the top of my head what these characters are, but yeah, it's a nice, interesting experimentation with the, I guess you can call it an adventure, not necessarily a point-and-click adventure. You're not actually pointing and clicking literally, but it is an adventure game because you're solving puzzles. Adventure usually equates to solving of puzzles using items and or abilities of your character. Well, again, I would say that was probably my least favorite Double Fine game, if only because a lot of the writing and the level design fell very flat in that game. I mean, no offense to Ron Gilbert or anything, he's a great prolific designer, but the Cave didn't really do much for me. And the fact is you have to essentially play the game 3 times in order to experience all of the individual characters' levels. You experience 3 different levels based on who you pick, but since there are 7, you have to play one with 3, another one with 3, and then a third experience with the 2 remaining, and then 1 you've already played. So a lot of the time you're going to be playing, or at least for that 3rd time, you're going to be playing through redundant experience, redundant level that you've already played through. Alright, so enough discussion of the Cave. I think the most important thing I want to say there is just that I thought it was okay, but I didn't really like the writing or the experience in general, the way the game worked. Do I hit this guy? Is he combat? Yes, he is. Okay. I'm gonna bring the ghost in. Probably should have changed my costume, but that's fine. Alright, I probably should have been discussing all that stuff while in this combat, but I didn't really know that there was going to be a combat experience right there. But, yeah, whatever. We'll just continue on. Dang, a lot of damage there. I mean, it must be strong against that particular enemy type. Nice and amazing. I guess I could talk a little bit more about the Cave then. Another thing I thought that was weird about the Cave was, again, very different from what you typically expect from a Double Fine game. Its brand of humor, very, very dark, I think, and again, it ended up falling flat for me. It's not the type of humor that I enjoy, the type of dark humor. It wasn't anything gruesome or too adult, I would say, but kind of not fun, I would say. Not fun kind of humor. It's a particular kind of humor that only certain people can enjoy, I think. I think that's one of the main reasons why I couldn't really get into that game. Hey, what was that noise over there? Nice. So I think that solves the puzzle. Mom, Dad, Halley, kids, you guys are amazing. Yeah, I thought we were going to spend eternity in there. Let's get out of here before more guards come. Timeout. You're the kids that took my timepiece. I had nothing but time in that cell to think about it. You're not getting out of here without a rematch. Oh no, getting into combat again? This one's more of a boss battle, and I have a costume that I do not like. Okay, well, that should make things kind of a challenge, I suppose. Pipsqueaks think you're so smart. May not have my timepiece, but I'm doing a ton of push-ups. I'm ripped.